What's going on, girl?
Okay, we back.
We back. This is We Are the Table. CEO Babes presents We Are the Table podcast. I am Sharon Rogers. We got my co-host, Lawana Potts. What's going on, Lawana?
Hey, girl, how are you? Thanks for the applause.
Good.
Period. Are we still celebrating the birthday? We still on birthday mode?
We still celebrating the birthday. We still on birthday mode. So yes, it's still Aries season. So we still doing our big one. You know.
Yeah. It's
So
almost Scorpio season. We getting close.
yes, for sure. Not even a little bit close, but we'll let you feel like that. We're just beginning the Aries season, so we're gonna cut that out today.
Period.
But shout out to the CEO babes. We had a good weekend. Y'all gave me a good birthday. We do have a sponsor today, one of our fellow CEO babes, Tanika Evans. She has a nonprofit called Crown Me.
Okay.
Crown Me is inspired to empower women to rise from pain into purpose by helping them rediscover their worth, reclaim their identity, and confidently wear their crown again. So shout out to our CEO babe, sis Tanika, for her nonprofit.
I love it. I love
Yes,
it.
yes. So I think we got a good show. I feel like I'm a viewer today because I know a little bit about what I was told, but I want to hear from the horse's mouth itself. So, all right, talk about our guest we bringing on today.
Well, we have today. Now, this is a quite impressive resume. So I'm going to start there before I say his name. But he's a multi-time founder and brand strategist with a track record of nightlife and technology.
Hmm.
He has his own platform called Up Down Nightlife. And I've been on this platform, so I'm very familiar with it. That kind of tells you about the bars in the area. He's also the founder of Ken Seltzer. It's America's, not Kansas City, but America's first Black-owned seltzer brand. And he's expanding nationwide. So this is amazing. So let's bring Josh Lewis on to the stage.
Yo, what up, what up, what up, what
Toast
up?
to that.
Cheers. Excited to be here, man. Excited to be here.
You're
Okay,
muted
okay,
too,
Cutwater.
Siobhan.
Okay, Cutwater.
I know.
Yes, I'm cut water. So I'm going to toast to you guys. I'm going to cut waters while y'all have your glass of wine. So,
That's
yes.
right.
So
Yes. We're
what's
glad
going
to
on?
have
I'm
you here.
excited, man. This is exciting. Funny quick story. I actually have been low key and haven't been doing a lot of media for the past maybe like almost 6 months now.
Wow.
So this is my first interview as I get back active.
Okay.
And start hitting, podcasts and media channels of some sort. So I'm excited to do this one.
Well, we're glad
And
you
you
came.
allowed us to be that first interview. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. We
yeah. I'm excited. I'm
Yes.
excited.
I love that. Well, we're gonna dig right on in
Let's do
because
it.
you have quite the resume. You've made some huge strides in the seltzer. But can you tell me about the seltzer? Because what is seltzer?
Yeah, it's just really a soda water, flavored soda water that got some type of alcohol. It's different ways to make it. You can ferment it or add tequila or add vodka. Ours is actually fermented from scratch, so we don't have tequila or vodka of some sort, no spirit in it. But it's really a soda water with flavor and a little bit of alcohol content. The difference between Ken, the one that we launched about 2.5, 3 years ago, is it just has more flavor, right? We decided to not make it a stale slash non-flavorable. It tastes great. Non-flavorable product. We decided to put like some real flavor into it, and so that's kind of our slogan, right? So like the name of it is Ken Seltzer. It's a seltzer for the folks, and the folks usually have a little more flavor than everybody else. So does our seltzer.
Is that like
Hmm.
kinfolk? Kinfolk?
Yeah,
Is that
literally,
where it came
literally. Yeah,
from?
I'm from the South. I'm from Dallas, so kinfolk brand.
Okay.
That was what
Oh,
we.
okay. I didn't know that.
I
Where
pulled
can
it.
we
I
Wow.
get the
pulled.
seltzer at? I would like
We're
to
in about
try
a
it.
hundred locations locally. So if you go to
Okay.
pretty much any local restaurant, bar, club, we're gonna be somewhere in one of those.
And it's
Okay.
called Ken.
Ken Seltzer. K.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I
Nice.
love it.
Big
That is
deal.
good. I knew of your because I know DJ Q
Yep. 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 My
clearly, so you
guy.
know
My
him and my
guy.
daughter are friends.
Yes. Yes. She come
Um,
to the party. I've seen her at the parties.
yes, absolutely. I've been at the parties too.
I know. I've seen
So,
you. You're right. You're right. I was trying to keep your. I was trying to keep your secrets. Your secrets.
oh no, I'm outside. I'm outside.
I get it. I get
So,
it.
the Up Down Nightlife, that was an amazing app. So, how did you? I mean, developing an app is hard.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Man, I'm gonna take it back a tad. So, moved here in Kansas City 2012. When I moved here in 2012, I played basketball for Park University. I was always a party guy, right? So my first actual party that I threw myself was in high school for my graduation. Ended up getting about 400 to 500 people there. Fell in love with the activity of like being social, right? So got here, got to college on the basketball team, decided to continue to throw parties, which led me to working at. I don't know if you guys remember the Point Bar and Grill. uh,
Mm.
it was an active spot, kind of like West Plaza, right? So ended up working there as security slash throwing parties. Got to know a lot of people in the industry and was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna throw my first party. Ended up throwing my first party, my graduation in college. Made 6 grand from that party and was like, I think I'm gonna keep doing this, right? So
Okay.
essentially got into the industry that way, and then decided to. I was always like I had an entrepreneurial spirit just in general. Like I never really wanted to work for anybody else. One, two, I'm an idea guy and enjoy creating things. And so while throwing those parties, graduated, realized like I was eventually gonna get older, and so throwing parties wasn't gonna always be my thing. So if I built a tech company around parties, maybe I could make it last a little longer. So that's kind of where the ideation from throwing parties into Up Down Nightlife app came about. And so Up Down Nightlife app was a essentially party Instagram for party people. And so if you like to party, you download the app, you create a profile, it tells you where to party at different districts in the city. So you could click a button in Westport, you could click a button in Martini Corner, you could click a button in River Market. It'll tell you what's going on in that market, from the DJs that's playing at each spot to the specials that they give. And so um,
Love it.
2016 we launched the first app, the first iteration of that app. We had about 8,000 users on it in like 8 months, and so I knew I had something, but I knew nothing at that time about tech, right? So I googled who could build apps, called a couple companies, partnered with one, had no idea what they were doing, just wanted to launch. Ended up being a terrible app in my opinion. I didn't think that at the time, but it definitely did. And so we launched. It crashed 8 months in with 8,000 users. I was, distraught, hurt. Went back to throwing parties to make my money, and went to like learn what it really took to build a app. And it went from wanting to build an app to actually building a full tech company, right? And so, with that being said, I ended up, getting a team of people, raising some capital. I think I ended up raising essentially for Up Down the whole time about 1.5 million. But at that time, I raised about 500K to kind of like build the app or whatever. So
Hmm.
did that, and then pandemic hits. People ain't partying, so I never got to actually relaunch it until after the pandemic. So I went a whole like period of just learning, raising capital, understanding how to build a tech company. 2021 hits, we launch again that summer, actually August of that summer, and built the app up to 40,000 users. And
Wow.
pretty quick. And so ended up actually selling Up Down Nightlife app to a company called Barglance out of South Carolina.
Oh, I didn't know you
Well,
sold
yeah,
it.
we sold it to a company for 5 million, 3 million stock, and cash of 2 mil. So
Oh, that's really
that ended
good.
up, yeah, ended up doing that. Worked with Barglance for about 18 months, cashed out, and now I'm on to my next venture, which is Ken, and another thing that we could talk about here pretty soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was dope, man. I learned a lot throughout that process. It was a whole decade of work, ups, downs, parties, no parties, learning, hiccups. I mean, everything you could think of. From I'm pretty transparent, so eviction, repo. Like I kind of went through the whole thing that an entrepreneur is supposed to go through,
Right.
knowingly, and that it was knowing it was going to happen from the jump. But ended up going through all those things, man. So I
Believing
learned
in
a lot.
yourself,
Yeah, I learned
keeping
a
it
lot. I learned a
going.
ton. I learned a ton for sure.
I love it.
It
Yeah.
looks
Well, you
like you have
know,
an abundancy mindset too, because it's like you're keep building models and selling them, which is what you're supposed to do. If you read
Yes,
the book,
100%.
you're supposed to create and then sell it off and keep creating.
That's
So
where the real wealth comes from.
yeah, that is
absolutely.
Never really wanted to be nothing against it. Never really wanted to be a mom and pop shop type guy.
Yeah,
hmm
Those businesses thrive. Don't get me wrong, but I just generational wealth was the key, which is why I went the tech route in the first place. Studies show that that's the venture capital tech route is the route to go to achieve that. So, and
absolutely.
honestly, you learn the most that way. Right now, if I ran a mom and pop shop, my processes and systems would be so intact that we would be head over heels on the money side. So I learned a lot, man. I learned a lot.
good, nice.
Well, we want to know how you got in cahoots or in business with Jay Z or with. We want to know. We want to
Yeah,
know
yeah,
how
yeah,
how
yeah.
this happened, how this connection happened.
Yeah, man, y'all really did some research. So quick thing. So around 2016, I had a teammate that actually worked in the liquor industry. He had graduated, hopped in the liquor industry. He worked for every brand you could think of: Fireball, Ciroc, everybody,
Hmm.
right? Worked his way up. We ended up being best friends. We were roommates for a second. We were team. We just been through it all, right? And so throughout this time period, while I was building my side, the entrepreneurial side, he was working for a lot of companies. So he'll call me midday, give me ideas. This is what Liquor Brands is doing. This is what you should do. Whatever. So we've stayed here. Luck of the draw, he actually gets hired a year and a half ago at Ace of Spades. Um, and so he comes on as their national account manager. So he runs literally the whole country in terms of Ace of Spades. Best friend of mine. And so, Jay-Z owns Ace of Spades. So it just naturally came about. And then I, embedded myself into the company. We got a nice little partnership going now. And so when Beyonce went on tour, I got the whole experience of, the Ace of Spade experience, right? Going backstage, meeting Jay-Z. I actually ended up, and I probably shouldn't say this, but I actually ended up partying with Jay-Z's mom in Vegas, right? And so stuff like
Wow,
that, man. It's pretty cool to get that experience, and I'm hoping that the partnership continues to grow, and I'm excited.
that's amazing. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
So since you've partnered with, Jay-Z, you've launched your own tech company, you've done all these things. So I would say, don't you feel it's not, people say, oh, you're from Kansas City. Well, you're not technically from Kansas City, but you
yeah,
live
yeah,
in
yeah,
Kansas City. They're like, you can't make it from here, but you're
yeah,
living proof that you can make it from here.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think this is a great topic. I'm glad you kind of brought this up. So I think about this all the time. Obviously, I'm not from here, so I think about that narrative usually comes from people that grew up from here, right? I do think there's a two-sided thing on that, right? I think there's one side of honestly just not doing enough research to understand that that's not true, right? You only know you're only as knowledgeable around the circumstances you come from and the people you're around. And, we come from underrepresented families, quote unquote poverty, and so I think for the people that are saying that a lot of the times, those are those circumstances which are understandable, honestly, right? Like you get it because it's like,
Hmm.
you haven't had the resources to see more. Lucky for me, on the other side of that, I do come from underrepresented area, but it's not Kansas City. So when I got to Kansas City, it was new start for me, right? It was go find out as much as possible because I know nothing.
Yeah.
And so I think I was just a little more optimistic, and I think that's the gap, right? Like you got to be a little more optimistic about Kansas City, which is why I don't. You'll never scroll through my Instagram, Facebook, or anything where I'm saying anything such as that, right? Like I do comment on the growth of Kansas City needing to happen a little faster, and kind of like trying to push people to do that. But it's definitely possible. It is hard.
Right.
I would say it's 10 times harder than most places, but the possibilities are endless if you go do the research, and I just don't think we do enough of that, or the people saying that don't do enough of that.
I don't know if it's the city or the culture because for
Yeah,
me, I've
yeah,
lived in three other states outside. I'm born and raised Kansas City, Missouri, but I've lived in Texas, New York, and Florida.
yeah,
And the culture in the states are different. I think you can prosper and be you can exceed or like do great in any city, but if you don't have the culture or the support of the community or the city, that's what determines if you can thrive or not.
yeah,
And
yeah. I think
it was like for me, I
right.
feel like I couldn't. I was stuck. when I left. Like I couldn't go any further anywhere. I just felt like I was stuck. And so it took me to leave and go to Texas and see the culture that it is different. Not saying it's better or worse, it's
Hmm.
different. The
Hmm.
support level's a little different, I ain't gonna lie. To understand that
But you
even
got to think too, man.
I came
It's just
back,
the
my
it's
mindset was different.
I was gonna say I think too that just the fact that I think, or maybe not a fact, but somewhat of an opinion based on some true data that I've seen is transplants get treated better in cities, right? Like if you're not from there, people tend to look at you as the new thing in whatever
Mm,
regard, right? So when
yeah.
people leave their hometown, a lot of the times they leave to start fresh and start new, right? When you grow up somewhere, you got narratives. You went to high school, you went to middle school. I know your daddy because he used to do this. I know your mama because she used to do this, and so there's this narrative, these narratives that are put on you, like without you even asking, right? Like if your mom, was the principal at a high school and everybody from Raytown South is the ones that are doing X, Y, and Z, then
Hmm.
that's the stigma. You didn't have nothing to do with that. Your mom was the principal, right? And so you can't shake some of that stuff. So being a transplant, going somewhere else always helps, and I think that's what helped me is right. Like I would have thrived in Dallas just because I'm me, but I do understand how hard it could
Yeah.
be in your hometown for sure.
It was a challenge for me though, because I felt like if I can make it in, like even New York, I'm like, if I can make it here, it's expensive. I can
Yeah,
make
I can get it done
it.
anywhere.
So
Yeah.
the confidence level to
Hmm.
be able to move to another state is like I'm comfortable with it. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yep.
But how do you identify, like, because you're a successful man, right?
Hmm.
How do you identify like who's actually in it to be to be your friend, to be your partner, to be your your ace boon, or who's just trying to ride on your
Quit.
coattails, trying to pick
Quit.
your brain? Because I find a lot of successful people have to look at people a little bit different because these people are like, I want to pick his brain, I want to be his, is it clout or is it for real? Like, how do you determine the
Yeah.
different discernment you use?
Before I answer that, I this is why I enjoy talking to black women. I think the type of questions y'all ask are the questions that at least black men for sure think about often and don't get asked when they do interviews or things like this. So great question. I think, and I think about this daily, which is why I think it's a great question. It's very difficult to to decipher. I don't think there's a real answer for you. I think you have to give everybody time to show who they are. Sometimes people show it right off the bat, but a lot of the times people are good at faking what they want from you, what they
Hmm.
want to be around you for. In my line of business, it is 100% hospitality, so I almost got to be nice from the jump.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think for me, it's what I've done a good job of, which is why I think my success has been what it is. Is like my assistant was my friend in college. My best friend from when I was 6 moved to Kansas City with me, and we're still best friends, right? So I
Wow.
think I've been able to at least keep a good core around me where when those times come up, because they will, people show their true colors, they fake, whatever the case. I always had a
Tight
backbone of
circle.
people that I could always rock with. And so, when things got hard, when I get lonely, when I got an idea, I got people around for that. And then all the new
Mhm.
people, I can treat them accordingly because technically you ain't really my core anyway, right? So I can
Right.
play the game with them. And I think, you know, that's the luck of the draw on that one. I think people tend to get into a space where they're looking for their friend group, which allows you to be a little more vulnerable towards, like, how you encounter with people and the stuff you put up with. And I just never had to do that because I'm like, I got my people, I'm cool. So if you're gonna be that way, that's fine. So
When
I
did
think
you
I
know
got lucky.
when did you know that your access needed to change? Because, like, for me, I didn't know. And my friend right here, she had to take me to dinner and be like, friend, you can't
Yeah.
be friends with everybody. You can't help everybody. Your access level to you has to change. I didn't identify that because I consider myself a very humble person. So I'm just looking at myself like, still like this person that grew up here, woo woo wop, want to help everybody, want to be that. When do you know when you have to limit your access to people?
There's two things, two-part question. I mean, two-part answer. I think one is the studying of entrepreneurs, right? Like I've always been like, what does Will Smith do? What does Steve Harvey do? What does
Those some good
LeBron do?
ones
Right?
too.
Right. So like studying them, they kind of tell you like you're not gonna have a lot of friends. So it's like you go into it like, okay, I don't really know what that means, but I can assume that I ain't just ain't gonna be around a lot of people. So that was the first part for me. That when I like realized it for myself, though, dude, I feel like I still do like to this day. Like I think life just gets harder, right? Like the
Yeah.
more I grow, the more money I make, the more I got to do taxes, the more I got to do operations, the more I got to talk to people that matter, the more I got to raise capital. Like it's like I don't have time. Like I just I don't even if I wanted to chop it up with you for the day or be friends with you for the day, I don't have time. And so like it's life as life grows, I just realized that I
It
just
forces you. As
yeah, you
you
ain't got no
grow, you're
choice.
forced to
Yeah, you ain't
grow
got no
with it.
choice. You ain't
Yeah.
got
Yeah.
no choice. So I think it's been that. I think I still learn. I ain't perfect, so I still learn like, my boundaries on that. Like I said, I'm in the hospitality space, so a lot of the times I'm trying to make people feel a certain way, and sometimes you just don't have the time. And so, uh, as of late, I've definitely been like very cognizant of that. Like,
I think having a good circle around you helps with that too. Because
yeah, it
you're
matters. It matters a
like,
ton.
yeah,
Yeah, it matters a ton.
The fact that you're so successful and you can just sit around, like the people you grew up with, or even just sit on our podcast, you're not like, oh, you're not, it's just like, I like that about you, that you're just very, very humble. And I think that's a part of your success.
I appreciate that. I think, like I said, I grew up on a good family, so I attest to moms, pops. They've been married for 40 plus years.
Oh,
Every,
that's good.
every Sunday we have family over, so I'm grounded.
you got a good structure.
Yeah, a very good structure, and weirdly enough, the older I got, the more I appreciated it, and so I think that's a big part of who I am, and the humbleness and the
Okay.
grace for what I'm doing, and just the good upbringing is probably what I'll attest that to.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Before I get messy, I'm gonna let Luana take over because I have.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, no, and I'm glad you kind of cleared all those things up. Like, how do you do? Have you ever thought of, because you started with the tech, you built your business based off trusting someone else, and you had to learn
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now somebody like, me or Sharon or anybody wants to know, do you think you would ever have like some type of training classes, or would you get into educating people how to get to that next level?
I definitely have thought about it. I'm almost 100% sure I will do it. I've gotten into the weeds of doing it before and never followed through just because I usually get a little too busy. But I'm getting to a point where um, it's funny you say that. I'm getting to a point where I see the need for it more and more and more. Like even with, I don't want to go too far off a tangent, but even with AI becoming what it's becoming and me knowing so much,
Yeah.
kind of been on that curve for the last 7, 8 years anyway. It's a need for our community to understand it, or just communities in general, right? And so I definitely am getting the urge to get to that. I think how I'm pretty strategic, so like how, why, and when play a part. But yes, it'll definitely be a thing. I've already published a book on finding your passion and know your gift. So I think I'm in that space regardless. It's just about when, to be honest.
Mm.
That's good. Where's your book? How can we find your book?
It's on Amazon. It's called Find Your Passion, Know Your Gift by Joshua I. Lewis.
Well, we'll make sure we put it in there.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, okay, Sharon, go
Yeah,
ahead and
so
ask your
I'm
question.
the Luanda's the real nice conservative, sophisticated. I'm a little ghetto, and I like to ask the really hard, complicated questions sometimes. So drink your glass of wine, take a
I'm
sip.
with it. I'm with it. I'm with
Okay,
it.
so we know you're a successful guy. You're a nice looking guy. I don't know if you're married or single, but how do you date?
Yeah, yeah,
How
yeah.
date? Because, like, listen, I'm finding when the more successful you are, the more you got to screen people. Like, even women, we have to screen guys to make sure, like, when I meet a guy and they interested in me, I don't even know if they really like me or if
Yeah.
they like the idea of a person being with a person like me, or what I can do or what I can offer, or can I teach them this, or can I put them on this, can I help them start this, do you got money, like, it's like, do you like
Yeah,
me or do
yeah,
you
yeah.
like these things? Do you experience that in being a successful young black man?
I mean, 100%, right? I've had my girlfriends over the years that have not worked out. And I think it's an 80-20% thing there, right? 80% me not being ready, too into my craft, 20% them not understanding why I'm that way, right? I think for me, maybe that's been a while, maybe like the past 6 years or so, I kind of had made up my mind. I'm just gonna kick it, right? Like I don't think, at least until I know,
Like a hot boy summer, what we call a hot girl.
yeah,
Okay,
I could say hot boy summer, but it's almost like a cool boy summer, right? Like
okay,
I'm
okay,
not really actually pressed for nothing, but I definitely know that dating ain't gonna be the thing.
okay.
And
You do
so
lose a little focus when you start dating. So
yeah, and which naturally it's I think, if you dating somebody, they deserve to get time, and I don't got it.
so
So
you're single.
yes, 100%,
The
100%.
ladies, he's single.
He's
Okay.
single.
All
Uh-oh.
right. So
Your inbox tonight.
yeah, got slide in the DMs, but he ain't got time for you, so don't slide too much
Yeah,
now.
yeah, just
Slip in and
Oh,
slip
slide
out.
for a good time and slide back out.
that's
Slip.
horrible. You
He's
got a good
basically
time
he's basically saying slip in and
and
slip
slide
out.
out. That's horrible.
That is funny. That
That's
is
that
funny.
nightlife. That's that up
That's what
down
it is.
nightlife.
Yeah, I'm outside. I'm outside.
Now we see why you named it up down
Up,
nightlife.
down. He wants you in and out,
Dang.
like a yeah. He's that
That's
get your
funny.
pull a number and he'll call you when you're ready. Okay, so listen.
Yep.
Most men that are successful like you tend to gravitate to women of the opposite race. They'll go out.
Oh
A
wow.
lot of women will say, "Oh, they get successful. We ride with them." And I'm not saying this is you. Remember,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
told
yeah.
you I asked questions that I want to hear the answers to that us women ask. A lot of
Yep.
men that get successful, athletes, entrepreneurs, men as yourself, that have sold apps, tech companies, and then they go to the other race,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and they start dating them.
Yeah.
What is
Yep.
your stance on that?
She's so
I'll never be with one. I'll never be the white woman or
Okay.
now other races I can't say, but white I'll never be with a white woman. My mama, it wouldn't be a thing. It couldn't be a thing. I've messed with them before. Me and my mom are best friends. I've talked to her about white women. It ain't gonna be a thing. So
mama's
no,
always
that's
right.
that's
Mama's
not a thing for
always
me.
right.
That's not a thing for me. And I'm pretty loud about that. Even when I'm quote unquote dating or messing with one, it's like this gonna be what it's gonna be. This can't be anything more because you're
It's
not.
just a good
I
time,
can't
not a
take you
long
home.
time.
Yeah, I can't take you home. So like
Okay, so it's a
that's
good
not
time,
really a
not a
thing.
long
Yeah,
time.
that's not a thing for me. And I think for me, I mean, if we really gonna dive in, it's the relatability just don't be there. Like like what can we really talk about that you gonna understand? And it's
Right.
not much. It's not much, right? Even if you try, you can't. And so if we, and I don't, I kick it and go out and party with them and stuff here and there. I don't even like how people looking at me when you with me. I just don't like stuff like that. So no, it couldn't be a thing for me. That's just a boundary that I ain't no point even us wasting our time to go through because it's too much.
Okay, and I mean, I got some other stuff in me, so I ain't all black, but I
Yeah,
identify
yeah.
as black
That's why I
woman.
said,
But
other race get
I
thrown
have
in
some
there, but
Spanish in me, yeah, some Latino
yeah,
in me.
that's
But
okay. That's okay. The whites though, it's love, but
yeah, so you
it ain't
feeling?
that
So
much.
you at the club and you got your white girl? You feeling some kind of way because we looking
Yeah,
at
and
you
we
like,
might just be kicking it. It might
oh,
not even
that's
be
so he
nothing, but it
don't.
still feel away. Yeah, it just
Yeah, so
don't.
he done went and got all this money and like slid
But
him a white girl up in
you
here.
know what's funny? You know what's funny? It's funny you asked that question because most black women do label me as that. Women walk up to me in the club or out and say, "You look like you date white women," and
Ooh,
it's
that's
like, oh, because I'm smart. Got
yeah.
it.
Ah, okay,
Right. I'm
real
like you saying,
stereotypical.
you successful, smart. You date a white woman. It's like that ain't the case.
But I
Which
ain't gonna lie, it
I
is
do get because I see it. I do see it, but I
I ain't
see
gonna
It's
lie,
you.
pretty
I did
slow
date some
that
white men. I dated a lot of them. I actually thought about going back to the white men because the black men ain't really doing what they need to be doing. But I'm still holding on strong, hoping they come through. But
Yeah, I
I
feel
don't
you. I
really
feel
see a
you.
problem with it. I do see a problem with it if that's all you're interested in. Like when a
Yeah,
person say,
yeah,
"I
yeah.
won't date nothing but white women," knowing their mother or their sister is a black woman, and you won't
Mm-hmm.
even date that. Yeah, I have a problem with that. You know what
the
I'm saying?
studies show black women are more like they're hot, like on high on the table at this moment. Like black
Mm-hmm.
women are
Mm-hmm.
more educated.
Yeah.
Black women have bigger positions, bigger jobs. I mean, and I know a lot of successful black women. So I feel like, now it's black women are on
What's
top.
crazy about that is to me, from my POV, successful or not, I think successful black women matter, and I would it's a bonus. But she
Yes.
ain't got to be that. She just black is like black women just get it, yo. Like there's nothing you can do about you know uh, getting the right seasoning on your chicken. There's nothing you
Okay.
can do. There's nothing, like there's nothing you can do about having a long day and her understanding that because you are black is the reason this happened today. Like
Exactly.
it's just certain things you're just not gonna get. And man, if you got a black mom, I just don't understand how do
That's
you how do
my
you come from
point.
a black mom and say, okay, well, I'm gonna go white though. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
and no other race. I don't care if you
yeah,
go white. You can say no
yeah. But just
problem because
like it just
Yep.
it's something.
that
Not
burns my
that it's something
butt
off
when they
about
say
that. It's
that.
just something I can't get with.
Well,
Okay,
that's
so would
good.
you date a older? Were you into the like you like the aunties, rich aunties, cougarish, or you would kind of stay in your age group?
I mean, I just had this conversation
Well,
with my
what
brother.
is your age group?
I just had this conversation with my brother. I'm 35.
Okay.
So 23 to 50, we cool.
But I keep finding the guys your age like the older women. I don't know what it is, and then the older men like the women
Because
that are your
there's
age.
at 35 is when you start to actually mature as a man, and
Mm,
you realize that like a lot of the younger women are a lot because they haven't not that
Mature.
not even mature because women mature faster than men to me, but they just they want different out of life, right? Like they not the hot girl thing is a real thing right now, and so like from 21 to 35 is hot girl era right now, and it's like I don't got time for hot girl.
what was your age group from 23 to what?
50
50, you said.
to 50, yeah, I can
Okay,
get it
so
done.
there's three phases women go through. They go through a supportive phase, a fixer phase, and a fragile phase.
Okay,
So you got that fixer phase is the 20s because they think they know everything, they trying to fix everybody and everything, and then because of that they get hurt, so they're fragile. They go
okay,
through that fragile phase, and then once they heal from that they're in their supportive phase. I think the reason why there is that age, because I am in my 40s, like towards the end of it, um mid 40s.
say less, say less.
The 30 to 30 and the 30-year olds, 30 to
Uh,
40-year olds, like be on me. They
Yeah.
okay,
consistent,
yeah,
they be trying, they be on me. The over 40s be playing games.
but the
So
over 40s usually like younger.
that's what I'm
Probably.
saying.
Yeah,
That
they
Yeah.
it
like the
don't be
20s.
because
Yeah,
they
yeah,
be
yeah, yeah,
playing
yeah, yeah.
games. Yeah, okay.
I don't know what that is. I ain't got there yet, so I couldn't explain from a man perspective. But I do know for me, the age ain't really the reason for nothing. So it's
Yeah.
just how you are as a lady.
I mean, that's a big gap from 23 to 50.
Yeah, that is huge.
I've dated all to that,
Wow.
messed with, dated all the stuff.
What
So
you like best, older or younger?
ooh, that's a hard. That's a because I oh
Are you
I would say like
a sapiosexual type of guy?
a legit 30 to 35-year-old would probably be where I would like to dance if I
Okay.
had to choose. If I had to choose.
Are you more like a sapiosexual type of guy? Like that's what you're attracted to, or you just don't even really care because you just sliding in and out anyway?
Uh, no, that's what I'm attracted to. I think for me though, it's more about the conversation. Like the reason I probably don't go as young as often is because they don't know enough. They haven't lived enough. So our conversations at dinner or on the phone or throughout the day, it's not engaging enough for me. A lot of the times it's got to be a woman that has experienced some things so we can have real conversations. And because honestly, if the conversation thing ain't there, it probably ain't going nowhere for me. That's the only way to keep me engaged.
Well, you said she didn't have to be successful, but I feel like that you have to have someone that you're equally.
Nah. I wouldn't say that. Like for instance, my mom has worked at this Linux, the same job for the last 25 years. Her conversation piece is elite, right? Like I think it's just about understanding life rather than like we ain't got to talk about business. I ain't got to come to you when we talk about how to raise capital, but you can have a conversation about life experiences and things you've been through and
Yeah.
or have seen, whether it's
Mhm.
being well traveled or not. So yeah, you don't think 23 a bit young, sir? It's on the edge for sure. That's why I didn't say 22, 21.
I mean, yeah, 23 is
23 is when you turn the corner a little bit. 21,
you
22.
you teaching or something at 23. But if you get in
Yeah.
that 40s to 50s, they might teach you
They
something.
teaching you, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. I
yeah,
won't argue with you.
yeah. Okay. Um, Do
We all like to teach and be taught, by the way. So.
what they say?
What?
Okay, so my last question is dating now in
Yeah.
this era
Uh-huh.
is so different than back in the day.
Yeah.
Do you feel like men want to be chased more in this dating scene than before?
That's a setup question. Um, want to be chased more is crazy. Do I
I
think
feel like
so?
y'all
Do
do.
I think men want to be chased more in this era than the old era? I
Right.
think men. This is what I actually think. I think men are vocalizing that they want to be. I do think men in from that era back in the day wanted to be that, but it wasn't allowed to say. You couldn't say it. I do think it's the same man. I think this man can speak now because you know it's
Um,
because of a lot of other circumstances that come with life. But I just think men are more vocal about it now. But
so
like
you feel like
just
he
knowing
couldn't
my
speak
dad, for
about it
instance, my daddy
before?
wanted my mama to get to chase her. Like that's what he wanted. Everybody want to be that.
So explain to me, you felt like they couldn't back in
Yeah,
the
back
old
then, right? Like
days.
men had to be quiet, provide, and be a man, right?
That
Like
sounded
it's
like
not
what the
it's
woman had to do was be quiet.
but not to provide, right? So like I
Yeah.
think like men's mental health is a big thing now. Like men weren't allowed to
Yes.
express how they actually feel. That's not, I mean, black people in general, but men for sure as well as women. But men weren't allowed to express, and I think we are now, and we got a lot more platforms to do so. And so, with our mental health being first or put first on the internet, I think men are just saying what they want a little more, and like I said, that mixes in with that hot girl culture, and everything goes viral if a woman says you got to pay my rent, pay my bills, all that stuff, right? And so men are like, all right, if I got to do that, then give me some love. And so I
I
think that's
think they
just it.
want
I
to be
think people are
pursued because they
vocal
don't
about it.
like being turned down. They feel like they embarrassed or something.
That's a certain type of man. I don't know if that's every man. They
Yeah.
they, they out there, but I don't
You
know if
go to
that's
the club and the men don't approach the women anymore. They just stand there and
yeah.
wait for the woman to approach them. That's weird.
Yeah, not a weird. I got a prognosis on that. I think it's the music more than it is like the men. Like it's been a very large trap music era. That music ain't built to dance with no chick. It ain't built for.
I
It's
think it's social
it's
media.
it's almost degrading to some degree. And so, like in our community, all we listen to is what was for a minute. It's changing now, but Future, Young Thug, and if you hear Future come on in the club, your thought ain't to go holler at the chick, it's to get about them. And so I think some of that plays a part. Like back in the day, y'all had dancing music. Like you went to a party to dance with a girl,
Yeah.
which allowed you to pursue her, right? Like I
Yes.
think when you go out now, just the music hasn't shifted enough yet for us to be like, oh, I'm finna go dance with her or vibe with her. It's like, oh, I'm finna be thug in the corner or get a table.
I think social media has changed the dating scene
Yeah, you don't have to pursue people as much.
because you don't have to get to know a woman anymore because you're basing her off of her social media, which a lot of like me, I'm nothing like what I post and do on social media.
Correct,
I do
correct.
it for engagement, to have fun, stuff that I wouldn't normally do. So I think that has changed the dating scene as well.
100%. And I think, back in the day, the only way to be social was to go out and meet people, and now you don't have to do that. So that's true. I give you that 100%.
Okay,
100%.
Well,
perfect.
that was great. I
Yeah,
feel like, just because you're successful and you're single, women want to know how to approach someone like yourself, or why they don't get approached by somebody like you.
yeah,
Um, so that's important.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate
Single
it.
young girls on here, y'all listening?
So Lavana said it has changed. It makes people believe that they have more options than they do.
Then they
I
do.
agree with that too, for sure.
100%, 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, I enjoyed you. You were great. And I want to thank you again for picking us to be one of the first few to join our podcast.
Of
We
course,
had
I
a
enjoyed this. This was good.
time. I hope you enjoyed us as much as we enjoyed you as well.
No,
Yes.
this was a good time, man. I appreciate that. Have me back
And
anytime.
Oh, one more
congratulations on your
question.
success. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Versus, do you watch Versus?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Tank
We
and,
It's
just
Tank
tonight,
and
watched
Tyrese.
it.
Tyrese
Yeah, yeah.
versus
Tank.
Tank and Tyrese. Yep.
who
Who
are
you
you going
picking?
for?
Going
Come on.
forward.
Who you picking? Tank or
I,
Tyrese?
I gotta go with Tyrese.
Period.
Gotta
See,
go
that's
with
what I
Tyrese.
said.
Now, if Tank pulls out his writing bag like the songs he's wrote, Tyrese in trouble. But hit for hit, Tank ain't got enough. He ain't got enough.
Tyrese.
Yeah,
I
All
Tyrese,
like
the
them
he
way.
ain't got
both.
enough. He ain't got enough. He ain't got enough. He ain't got enough. Tank ain't got enough. I'm sorry. And I love Tank, but he ain't got enough.
Period.
Well, let us know when you have something so we can come and meet you in person for sure. I'd love to do that. And, we're going to see if Tyrese wins tonight. If not, we're going to slide in your inbox and laugh at you.
Yeah, when he does, just hit me up and we'll figure
I'm
out.
on Tyrese, so we good.
All right, well, we appreciate it. Luana, you got any closing?
I appreciate y'all having me.
I appreciate everything that you're doing, and I love to see, I love to see us winning, and especially, because we're entrepreneurs, we're all business people, so I feel like, you've taken it to the next level. So I'm sure you're going to be at that concert in Brooklyn.
I'm glad you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll definitely be there. I have some content, so you'll get to see it for sure.
We watching.
Thank you, Joshua.
I appreciate it. See you, ladies.
Bye.
Peace.